Now it's loading. Jump into it and start the series. I want to add the which are 31 and 91. I could have calculated that, right? Always 129 combined. Around of 128. So we have AR12 playing with Khmer against Fedex with Sicilians here. Fedex clearly the favorite with a way higher seeding here, but AR12, if he trained for that, I think he's a very dangerous player even for higher seeds. And before the game we said that the Civ draft of AR12 was way better, but I feel a bit like this Civ matchup is a little bit in favor of Fedex if he gets to Siege Onager and helps. AR12 could struggle against that. But the question is, will Fedex get there? With crazy eco and can get some crazy uptimes as well without needing all the buildings for Castle Age. And they can definitely get something going against Sicilians. And I don't really know what the game plan for Sicilians is in the earlier stages of the game, except for trying to not lose all the relics. Same for Khmer. And then interesting shadows. I never noticed that they would go over the edge of the map. Those are the things you can talk about during Arena Dark Ages. Isn't it lovely? Yeah, 12, 4 on wood, and everything else on food, nothing on gold yet. So it doesn't look like a crazy monk rush threat, which I wouldn't have expected from a Khmer player anyway, so not too surprising. Oh, that is a good fight for AR12, because Fedex moved away for a moment, then engaged again. And let's chase those two. So Fedex just has to run back into his base now, and AR12 shouldn't follow him. Let's see how far AR12 is following him. Oh, that was close, but probably planned exactly like this. And neither player is on gold yet, which looks a bit like they want to go for a pretty standard fast castle, then probably adding TCs, right? Now on gold with the... What? 6 more villages queued? Okay, remove them from the queue. He has more than 160 food more than he needed. Added 2 farms pretty early, which isn't too bad for Khmer. They work very fast, and therefore it's not that much more efficient to go with many vills on the board, risking that they bump into each other. Fedex also on gold now. And AR12 pop 25 up, Fedex pop 26, and I assume both will go for a little bit more of a me approach. No, AR12 only 4 on wood. He won't be able to afford TCs if he doesn't up that, which he does now with those 5 builds. He sends them over here where he has his 4 houses, and I don't know if he has enough space to build a lumber camp there. Relics this one, and this one. Really good for Fedex. And the other 3, here, here, and here, feel very neutral. So I favor Fedex position here when it comes to collecting more relics. And he should get at least 3, I would say. Talking is getting hard again. Maybe I should do more tongue breaker things here. AR12 clicking up without adding any wills here in Castle Age. Now sending a lot to wood. He could potentially get enough wood for at least 1 TC. He has a stable up already and is producing scouts from that. If he really wants to boom, he needs more farms then, but for now, it's enough to queue 2 scouts and a 3rd one in a moment as well. But without the barracks that he doesn't have to build, and everyone else has to, he won't be able to make spearmen, which could be tricky, but also fine for him, I think. Fedex, obviously also up to the Castle Age, but he had to add some wills in the process, and that gives AR12 a decisive edge in Castle Age timing, potentially decisive, especially if he gets out a monk earlier and can grab a relic before Fedex is even finishing his monastery. And there's the monastery. Scouts are coming out. Their job is to protect the monk that AR12 is going to add. And Fedex only has 2 scouts so far, so he can't really engage against the scouts of AR12. With husbandry in soon, it will be easier for them to decide when to fight and when not. So I like the position of AR12 here in regards of relics, even though the position of the relics themselves don't really favor him. Fedex now also in Castle Age adds a TC. A monastery. No players adding a TC. And AR12 with the earlier bowsaw and closer to his first extra TC. So that could give him an edge when it comes to eco. And I'm a bit surprised that Fedex isn't adding any spearmen. He has 4 scouts as well, is adding a 5th one. AR12 is doing the same. But when they are starting to fight, I think AR12 could have 1 relic already. Oh, I forgot to do a prediction now that we are doing live games again. Oh, light cavalry for Fedex, making it easier to kill monks and to fight against scouts, but you are getting slower with that tech in by 0.05, and then you can't decide when to fight, especially not against someone who has husbandry. So 1.71 against 1.50 soon. Now it's 5.5. Yeah, AR12 will always have the speed advantage, even after he gets light cavalry himself, and therefore is getting slower as well. But then it's husbandry against no husbandry, and here you can see that AR12 is slowly but surely getting away from the light cav of Fedex and could scare the monk back behind the walls. Now it's light cav for AR12 as well. And while Fedex already has one, AR12 is adding his extra TC only now. Therefore, against my prediction, behind in bill numbers now, but this monk died. A light cav of AR12 got the kill there. And monks focusing those light cav now. Oh, this light cav could have blocked them. 2 monks down for AR12, but I think he can get revenge and kill the light cav, or at least do a lot of damage to them. Once again, Husbandry helping him out here a lot. Both players adding a 30C here and here. Is Fedex getting a conversion here? No. Taking too long against the light cav, pulling the weakened light cav back to heal them up. And this monk would probably love to go out and grab himself a relic. One for each player so far. And this one should be in the hands of Fedex at some point. Anything else would be a bit disappointing in my opinion. Bill count now even, because Fedex has a bit more of idle TC time, roughly 2 bills worth of it. Gets his third TC up earlier though, and now runs away a tiny bit. It's just the difference between Husbandry and no Husbandry here, the speed that Fedex ran away with, and now with this TC finishing, AR12 will catch up. By the way, do you prefer ketchup or mayonnaise on your fries? And if you don't say mayonnaise, you're officially not a European anymore. Second relic for AR12. And one monk down, second monk down, because the light cav regrouped themselves. Now they have to jump on this group. And oh, will the monk get into his base in time? Fedex coming in from the side, and AR12 decides to sacrifice the monks just to prevent himself from being raided by those light cav. And what I missed is that Fedex also got Husbandry. Decided that it's time to be able to run away from AR12. But this relic now is fairly easy to get. Oh, nice loop around here with the light cav, and oh, Bill is moving out, and finally a spearman. Something I missed from Fedex for quite some time. And even the pikeman upgrade. Now he really wants to go for it. But as I said, Halp and Siege Onager would be dangerous for AR12 with his Chimera. Fedex is now housed, and that gives AR12 the option to get more wills than his opponent has. By the way, got even more idle TC time. AR12 a bit more smooth behind his light cav play. Now Fedex gets wheelbarrow. Maybe could have clicked that when he was housed. Maybe he even did that, but it was behind the blocked bill. And 10 light cavs still left for AR12 against only 2 by Fedex. The 5 pikemen could be dangerous if the light cav don't run away from them, which they obviously should do. Now, pikemen want to go direction of the monk. If the monk now switches to a pikeman, he would convert it instantly, but he doesn't. And those monks try to convert one light cav here. Conversion resistance is doing its thing. But those run now into the pikemen. Ooh, 2 kills very smoothly. Stepped down. And is that... oh. 4 archer ranges. Is AR12 going for crossbow and then narb? Not something I would play against half siege, but so far we don't see the siege part there. And then the pikemen, later possibly halves, are very weak to us, obviously, but it takes some time. At least 2 minutes 50 for AR12 to click the upgrade, and it can't be skirm, right? Would be even worse against the siege, so. But he isn't queuing any unit now. The archers are queued. Light cav now with problems. They can't engage against Fedex light cav, because as soon as they do, the pikemen close the gap between them and deal a lot of damage. Fedex is still far away from him, looking at the resources, and also missing a building. He will build a castle soon, though. Potentially using his map control that he now gains. And he also is now close to the 5th PC. Is he going for the unique tech? Getting as many sergeants as possible? 11 vills on stone. He will get the castle in no time. Okay, reduce that to 7. And he can click up to him now when we look at the resources, but he's still missing the building. Where's the panic building? Where's the panic siege workshop? Oh, it's a university. Damn. This is the only thing stopping him from clicking up to him. While AR12 will potentially be him when Fedex clicks up. Nah, builds too fast. So 15 seconds left on AR12's imp timing, and he will be there roughly 3 minutes earlier. What can he do with that timing? Gets crossbow only now, and can't click up now. He lacks a little bit of gold. Maybe sell some... Can't sell his food. Now selling his food? Yes. I need the optech, please. Chemistry is nice, yes, but... Come on, get yourself up. Bracer is important as well. And a siege workshop. That castle will protect this area very nicely. I'm not sure if ARP is really the unit AR12 wants to focus on now, right? They won't get through the walls here. They won't deny the castle anymore. Or will they? Think Sicilians build too fast. Yes, and most of those crossbows could die now. No, AR12 moves them away in time, and only 4 or 5 died. Not sure about that. And Fedex can attack the forward vills. Will they send forward to build a castle? That would be a bit early to finish the siege workshop. This could give Fedex crucial time. By the way, still no ARP upgrade. We have the resources for it. No. Chain barding armor first. I mean, those aren't Castle Age crossbowmen, but they would still profit from the ARP upgrade quite a lot. Heptram. Okay. And Fedex is going for Hauberg and Bloodlines, and the defense upgrade for is Cavalier, probably. They are the Knights. So Hauberg Cavalry, Cavaliers will be in soon. And Capram is on the way to the gate of Fedex. But I don't see anything here that could stop a solid group of Hauberg Knights. Cavalier. Only problem for Fedex is that he is not really on numbers yet. But has good production from 4 stables. And now even 7 stables, and 1 more will be added to the production line when Cavalier finishes. And then Fedex could clean this everything up that AR12 has. Why isn't AR12 protecting his ramps here? I mean, Fedex isn't even trying to go for them right now. Will do so now. And easily kill them. Now Halberdier for AR12. Definitely not a bad choice, but remember, Sicilians get less bonus damage from everything, so less bonus damage from Halberdiers as well. We seal that here? No. And these barracks will fall. There won't be anything they can do against that. So AR12 has to go for the barracks in here, which are only 7 of the 9 selected. Solid castle here from Fedex, securing himself a position in the middle. What was that? Oh, at First Crusade. Oh, Fedex is top capped. And then adding First Crusade will give him quite a strong fourth with a very, very strong eco behind that. And AR12 is only at pop 160. And will struggle with that trap. Attacking his castle. Siege engineers also coming in. Fetching probably for the castle. I don't see him going for a unit that would profit from that. Now First Crusade. Fedex jumps to 224 pop. And the sergeants are marching forward. They would be really good against those halbs. The lead sergeant even tagged. Oh, 2 halbs converted. Those third one as well. This trap will probably fall. Sergeants engage because they get the elite upgrade in. But still very solid against the halbs. With all their armor. 7 armor against what? 10 attack. 3 damage per hit against 85 HP unit. That takes quite some hits to kill them. And this castle is in more danger, in my opinion, than the group of sergeants here. Unless Fedex leaves the sergeants inside the area of the castle, the range of the castle. Now he's focusing on the gate, not on the castle anymore. And AR12 can repair that. And it kills more and more sergeants that now can break through. The trap could fall because Fedex isn't killing the traps of AR12 fast enough. And now that the sergeants are fighting under the castle all the time and the cavalier can't really engage here because it's everything clumped up, the halbs and castle together killed most of the sergeants. And then they get good engagement against the cavalier. AR12 also losing the traps. And Fedex still pop capped. Oh, and one cavalier is in here raiding, and AR12 doesn't really see a way to fight back the now breaking through cavalier, and resigns here. Gives game 1 to Fedex. Fedex earned that. He took it for himself. So let's go back to the drafting. And we can see if I am able to mark that in the SIF draft. Sicilians won their game 1 against the losing Khmer. That's still was there. All right. As I said, Khmer can struggle against Sicilians. I didn't expect it to go this way, to be honest. But that was played pretty well by Fedex. Can't say anything against that. And what they are also doing great is starting games. Therefore, we only have to wait for the rest of the spec delay. 35 seconds now until we can jump into game 2 of this set. And I hope that AR12 can bring us a third game so that we can see a lot of clownery. And in the meantime, while we are still waiting, I will check if the second set for today is already finished and posted in the match result channel. No, not yet. Would be nice if we get that not later than when we finish this set. And let's hope that AR12 can give us a bit more time. Getting very blue in the camera, right? Can I change that? Add another light. That working better? I am not sure. Not really. Not happy with that. Turns out my phone isn't a good light when it comes to cameras and stuff. It's good to move around in a dark house, flat, apartment, whatever you want to call it. Alright, we have Fedex with the Spanish in blue against AR12 with Lithuanians. And I am thinking now what each player can and or should do. Obviously AR12 wants to get the relics. This one should be easy for him. This one, the harder side for him. And this one is balanced, I would say. And for AR12 it could be a bit easier to get to light cav. But for Fedex it's not too hard to add some defense or offensive upgrades for his light cav with Spanish. Getting gold from it even, and not having to pay any gold in the blacksmith. So it feels really cheap for them to get those upgrades, and then it should be easier, not easy, to win the light cav fights in Castle Age, and then making space for your own monks to get the relics. And if AR12 doesn't get at least 3 relics, could be a hard game for him. If I think Fedex is going to castle drop, right? Which would give him a lot of map control, therefore more control over the relics. And Kongs is a unit you always want to go for as a Spanish player. Even though AR12 will have solid skirms and monks to defend against that. But if Fedex adds a little bit of light cav, it's getting hard to defend against Kongs. Let's see, those guys are looking like woodcutters. Building a lumber camp here. First one is on this side already. Can we fast forward it any bit? No. We are absolutely live. Which is great. There we go. Fedex is going to gold now, while AR12 not only clicked up, but also has 3 builds on gold. And that feels like very standard light cav, maybe pike, spearman and monk play. While Fedex is clicking up with pop 26, 2 on gold. Potentially a more boomy approach. Nah, not really. Not really. I'm a bit surprised that he isn't going for any stone yet. So my castle drop Kong strategy theory is a bit debunked, and I would have loved to see some conks. I have the feeling that Fedex knows that AR12 is up earlier. Otherwise, there's no reason to hide your scout when you don't fear that your opponent gets the boost for his scout in feudal age sooner than you. Barracks for Fedex. Let's see if AR12 has one as well. No. No barracks yet. Is going now for blacksmith stable, therefore. Sorry, blacksmith market. Yeah. Fedex is adding market stable. Has there ever been a good player on Arena going up with market and archery range? Feels weird to go for those two buildings as a combination. Who's winning this fight? Fedex is. And that isn't good for AR12, because this scout is absolutely capable of killing all the monks one by one. Now AR12 again, 25 seconds up earlier. Ooh. Wow, not even late. I'm getting old. Which qualifies me to play AoE 2, right? AR12 with quite a lot of builds on gold. That is more than you need for one monastery to produce monks. There I would have expected something like this with 3 builds. Is 5 enough for 2 monasteries? Do you need 2.4, 0.5 for one monastery to run smoothly? But check that out now. I will do it. Yes. Where are the monks? Monk and Iranians. You need 6 with gold mining, which he has now. I don't know if he has gold mining, but the 7th there makes it possible for him to go for 2 monasteries and produce all the time. And remember, those are faster because AR12 is Lithuanians. And he isn't going for any unit to support that. He doesn't have a barracks, he doesn't have a stable. Does he think that he can just convert all the scout that will be light cav at some point? 1 monastery for Fedex. There are the first 2 monks. Let's see what they will do. He's getting sanctity. Them tankier. But that is not enough. There is the barracks. That was definitely necessary. Well, that upgrade there in the corner. Making the monks faster. And unlike AR12, Fedex is adding a extra TC, and he's guarding the gate here and here with scouts. 1 scout here for whatever reason, probably just to have one in the middle. And he knows his monk can run around very freely. This monk heals the scout up and probably grabs a relic then. And I'm not too convinced of AR12's approach so far. Fedex is even adding a third TC now. And let's see how powerful those monks are. Will be hard against Lightcav. This relic will be for Fedex as well. That's giving him 2 already. Okay, and it looks like AR12 thought, if I don't build a stable, but convert all the scouts and soon to be Lightcav, it's no problem. I will have Lightcav anyways. Now Atonement would be nice to get this monk. And when the monks now grabbing up relics, get easier to engage against them. Gammon obviously still dangerous for the Lightcav. And yeah, I agree. It looks like a 3-2 split in favor of Fedex when it comes to relics, even though this one could fall now. Oh, Fedex is going to the wrong monk. Or is he going to the right one by going for the one that tried to convert him? So this one could be a conversion as well. No, monk dies too fast. Now converting a spearman would be great for Fedex. Gets one, but loses the monk. But what does AR12 have now? The monks here can't fight because the Lightcav are coming. This one goes out further. He could be dead already. Trying to get a conversion. Won't get one. And that Vil is also in danger. Monks scaring them away. The Lightcav can't do anything. And while Fedex is adding a 4th TC, we see a 3rd one by AR12. He also already added a 2nd one. And there's Atonement. So now AR12 can convert Fedex monks. What happens if a monk with a relic is converted? Is still a relic dropped? Really feels like Fedex is going to get the 4-1 relic lead. Runs away to safety with the Lightcav. Doesn't have to fear anything right now for his monks. All the units here are way too slow to get them. Yep, it's 4-1 relics for Fedex, and that's absolutely not what AR12 wants. Even if he doesn't plan to go all in on cavalry, it would have been nice to at least have the option to have full strength cavalier / paladin. And this Lightcav guy here could be a bit annoying, but would be converted. Stay on. Oh no. Oh no. Those looks like a lot of dead monks. Oh, this Lightcav couldn't decide on who should go, but 3 Lightcav for 3 monks is a trade I would go for. Now the Ram trying to open the base of Fedex for AR12. And Atonement as well for Fedex. He also wants to convert monks. That reminds me of a famous Norwegian player and streamer. Lighting is really not good here. All the green screen bugs out. I think we will see something like this all the time. Monks changing colors. I'm throwing away the pillow. We better put that away again and focus on the game. And yeah, defensive castle here by Fedex could stop a lot of this aggression if it goes up in time. And I think it will. We have Spanish villagers building something. It's their strength. And AR12 decides that a wall with 274 HP left is weak enough. He can go somewhere else. I think he just saw the castle and decided it's not worth it to risk that it can shoot him. the light cav of Fedex are running around here trying to find some units that want to group up. I think neither player has redemption. Would like to see it, especially from Fedex. Has the resources for it, both have it, but it's a necessity. Oh, I mixed them. Fedex has the resources for redemption, and I would like to see it from him. Converting this mangonel would be nice, but as long as he doesn't have proper Monk numbers, he can't really engage here, because it would be likely that AR12 converts his units. Spearmen now have to be on point against the light cav, trying to kill the Wilds here, but they are defensive tower here. Not really effective against the mangonel. And both players on the way up to him. Fedex is a bit faster, and Fedex has a clear villager lead here, 104 to 73. Question is only if he can withstand the pressure now until he gets to him. And garrisoning in here is interesting. Walls behind with stone walls, that's a good decision. It's closed. And yeah, Inquisition would be extremely helpful, in my opinion, for Fedex. Getting block printing, Inquisition, and more monks on the field. And AR12 can't engage. The monks would just be converted so much faster. And now a castle by AR12, but I don't think it will go up on time for him to get traps out on time, because Fedex is up faster. And there's a second castle by Fedex. And that means that Fedex will have way more traps out. He is up earlier. He has double the amount of castles. And AR12 is adding more and more barracks. So is he going for halves? Not the biggest resource pile for him. And yeah, one trap is in queue, second one will follow very soon. And AR12 is in imp now as well. Queues a trap. And chemistry by Fedex, he's going for bombard cannons probably. That's the siege workshop that is needed for that. And AR12 also with chemistry. We have seen a lot of bombard cannons in this tournament already, and there's a good reason for that. They are quite strong. Block printing, elimination, theocracy, handcart, so many upgrades for AR12 here. And Fedex also chemistry, stone mining, no block printing, and no Inquisition. I think he could afford it. Inquisition. I don't know the exact price, but I assume quite some food and gold, but less than 1,000 each. And AR12 is fighting against 3 traps with his 1. For every one he adds, will probably to added by Fedex as well. So I think this castle won't produce a 3rd trap. Not even sure if conscription goes through. This rate that it's going down, and conscription would be really helpful, but it doesn't come in. Masonry a bit late as well for the castle to be saved. And AR12 only popped 115 against the 157 against Fedex. And those vills are getting intercepted by 2 light cav. And that hurts quite a lot. Bombard cannons, not getting hit by the traps. I would love to see them attacking the traps, but it's not that easy. Ooh, what is AR12 doing now? Oh, hand cannoneers from Fedex, making the life very hard for the few pikemen that AR12 got now. And the light cav here, if they can engage against this group, and they will do that, especially after the monks run out of monk juice, as Neely calls it. I think this is GG. And luckily, AR12 doesn't let me down here and proving me wrong, but sadly, he is out of the tournament with a 2-0 loss against Fedex. Congrats to the Argentinian. I think he deserved that win.